So I just bought a motorcycle that I've been looking for over 10 years. I bought the bike sight unseen. I haven't even laid eyes on it yet. Chris is coming across the bridge right now. We're gonna take a first look at this machine and see how we did. So my dad and I have been collecting Harley-Davidson panheads for years. We've been working on collecting a bike from every single year of production, and the bike in the trailer just may be the key machine to completing that run. So I had to buy 5 bikes to get this motorcycle, and the goal of today is to find out, is it a worthy example? Will it run? And was this whole deal actually worth it? Good.
So there's a little more than 5 bikes in here.
Oh my God. Chris, dude. Okay.
Yeah.
There it is, right there. Okay. I can't tell if that's original paint or not.
No, the guy did say that he restored it about 25 years ago, but he never ran it.
When I hear never ran it, that's always scary. All right, come on back. Yep, nice. Let's roll this thing out and get a look at it, Chris. So Harley debuted the Panhead in 1948 and it ran all the way through 1965. This model is special because it's the first year for rear suspension. Harley came out with the Duo Glide in 1958. This was the first year for that real king of the road motorcycle. And was it an FL or an FLH? FLH, nice. It's the high compression one, high performance. Original emblems. Beautiful Speedo. It says 10,000 miles on the odometer. Didn't lock the key. Look at them grips are nice. Little age, man. You can tell this thing's been sitting for 25 years. Yeah. Let's get this thing back to the shop. And next steps, hopefully we can get this thing a little bit closer to fire it up and running today. Starting to rain? Yeah. That's good. I wasn't gonna give it a bath until after, but whatever, we'll get started. So check the gas tanks. What do you got on your side there, man? Oh boy. Don't be nasty. Don't be bad. Don't be bad.
Actually, really good.
Yeah?
Yeah, a little bit of surface rust, but nothing horrible.
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
Yep.
That way. No.
Don't get there yet.
Oh, we're there. That rear master cylinder is locked up. It's a good thing you know how to build them so good. Yeah, okay.
Oh yeah.
That sucker not moving. All
well,
right.
At least it looks better on the outside than the other one.
That's
did,
because
so
it's chrome,
yeah.
Chris.
Yeah, but I mean, chrome can rust too.
It's chrome.
Do you want me to go ahead and start lubing some stuff while you're...
Yeah, dude. Yeah, we're gonna have to lube every single piece of this bike. You said the garage was pretty nasty?
Oh yeah.
Pretty dry?
Yeah.
Or pretty damp?
Pretty damp. I mean, like I said, dirt floor in part, gravel in the other part, so a lot of moisture in the room.
A lot of moisture in the room.
Yeah.
And you can tell it too. There's a lot of like, you know, a lot of this surface rust where things have just kind of, get this toolbox is rusty, shock covers are rusty. It'd take a little more than fine steel wool and chrome polish to shine all that back up. So, okay, so Jerry collected bikes 45 years. I mean, had literally been riding Harleys since he was a kid, collected all those years. You guys hear me say it all the time. They're your put-her-togethers, your take-it-aparters, and your leave-it-aloners. And Jerry didn't leave anything alone, took a lot of things apart, managed to get this one back together over the years. So when he said he never ran it, you think, surely the guy had to start the thing up, because if he didn't start it, there's no telling what the issues are going to be.
Yeah, and maybe by that he meant, you know, he cranked it but never actually put any miles on it.
Never put any miles on it.
Yeah.
Well, that's an original Harley Speedo. This is definitely not original paint, but it's a correct 1958 paint job. The bags never would have been painted like this, so this was Jerry's personal touch. What do you think's in here? Bundle of $100 bills? Nope, nothing. All right. We're gonna get this sucker running today. Real nice, and then you got a front tab and a rear tab also, Chris. Yeah, we're pulling these bags off just so we can get a better look at the bike altogether. We felt that rear brake master cylinder. We know that's froze up. There's no telling where else along the way it's also frozen. It kind of makes me nervous. Front brake's a drum brake, so we could be riding this thing with no rear brake, but of course we're gonna wanna fix this thing properly. Goal today is to see if we can get this thing running. If we can get it fired up, it's gonna make this deal just yet a little bit sweeter. 5 bikes with the deal originally, and you know, my first impression of the other 4 motorcycles is they're not quite as nice as I was hoping. This remains to be seen. One thing I can tell you that I do like is that I don't see much reproduction on it. I don't see any reproduction on it. Okay. Yes, sir. All right, so really cool dual exhaust setup. Original mufflers, original clamps, cool little accessory, fishtails, original shock covers, the whole bag mount system, the right tail light on it, genuine Harley seat.
That windshield is in fantastic
Look
condition
at that,
for
I know,
original
too.
Harley windshield.
Beautiful handlebars, not bent up. Harley Davidson mirrors, original. Front fender tip there, a couple years only. Crash guards. This here doesn't look original. So there's maybe your first, maybe the only reproduction thing I see. Dual glad oil tank, original battery lid, original D-rings, air cleaner cover. Really nice. Yeah, original, even the squish pipe's original. So this guy, he must have started with something really nice.
Yeah.
For it to have been this nice, you know, and for, what's that registration sticker say over there?
95, 96.
95, 96. He's got a 96 sticker on his plate, so that's almost 30 years that this thing's been sitting in the dampest of dank garages. So this is...
And I didn't even try kicking it over because by the time we got to getting this one on,
well,
late.
first order of business, let's kick it over and see what we got. So do you want to pull the plugs?
Yep. Cylinders are coiled.
Cylinders are coiled.
Yeah.
All right, man, this thing ought to kick by hand. Oh, yeah, it's moving.
Oh, nice.
It doesn't feel like there's no plugs in it, but it doesn't feel like a lot of cylinder pressure. You got a finger over the plug?
Yep.
Let me kick here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's an FLH for you, dude. So high,
that is...
Yeah. Hotter cam, higher compression pistons.
Yep.
Different heads, I think. I think the heads were even different on the FLHs. Some of the guys in the comments might know.
Of anything we've ever done that's an old bike that's been sitting for a while, that definitely was the stoutest compression we've ever seen. One's been sitting this long.
Beautiful. Okay, for something that's been sitting like this, that's good. Let's get a battery. Chris, do you mind running up and grabbing a battery? And then we can run through the electrics. Bike cleaned up a little bit. So Chris is grabbing a battery off the shelf up front. We'll get this thing prepped and a few of the right bolts. Yellow.
Hey, man. Hey, there's not any new batteries up here. Do you want me to just grab one out of something else?
Yeah, just grab one out of Shoeless Joe if it still has one in. I think Shoeless Joe's got one in, if not the Johnny Cash bike.
All right, I'll check it and grab it and bring it back.
Okay, man, I'm almost ready. Yeah.
All right, sounds good.
Bye. All right, guys, so if y'all don't have earbuds for your shop, you absolutely need to get some. Chris and I have been using these Raycons. They're absolutely awesome, makes the whole shop experience better. This is a huge 38,000 square foot building, and with the Raycons, Chris and I are in constant communication all day. 2 taps, answer the phone, and it's all right here. You know how greasy things get back here? You got stuff all over your hands. These things are weatherproof, sweat resistant. Absolutely shows, guys. They got this super rad protective case that keeps them nice and clean and safe. One of my favorite features is the active noise cancellation, which a lot of people love for long flights and stuff, but it's perfect for canceling out Chris's dad jokes. Super easy to set up, super easy to use. 32 hours of battery life for the all-night sessions when we go working on these things for a day straight. The Raycons, perfectly designed. They fit your ear like a glove, and then this wireless charging case just makes everything quick and easy. I've had a couple others over the years. I won't use anything else. Raycon absolutely has them dialed in. So we partner with Raycon to make shop communication easier. Go to buyraycon.com/wheels today to get 20 to 50% off site-wide. That's right, you can get up to 50% off everything on Raycon's website when you go to buyraycon.com/wheels. Raycon offers a 30-day happiness guarantee, so if you need to make a return, it is as easy as it gets.
Do we want to put this thing on charge? For
Yo. Did you pull that battery?
I did. Do we want to put it on charge a little bit, or do you think it'll be good?
I think we'll be fine. Okay. Let's pop it in there.
I will say, this is the nicest wired bike we've had in quite a few. All the wiring looks factory spec and not household speaker wire.
Nice, that's excellent. Well done, Jerry. I think this may be the first bike we need a shop vac on, Chris.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of rats. Oh, and especially down in there.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah. Do we have a shop vac close by?
There may be one in that back corner. All of the chrome is like borderline replace it versus try and clean it up. I was really hoping this might be a good example to keep for the collection, but I gotta be honest, as I'm cleaning up right now, I don't know. How it runs is gonna be a huge determinant on whether we keep this bike here at the museum or end up seeing it down the road. So hopefully at the end of the day, we're not regretting the decision to bring this bike back here to wheels.
All right, that's cleaned out. I'm gonna go ahead and drop
the battery in there.
Drop the battery in.
Look at these spark plugs. They're not Champion spark plugs.
Flip switch, see what we got?
Nothing yet. Nothing yet.
Nothing yet.
I don't like it. Oh, does that mean the battery's dead?
I flipped it on and the headlight came on shoeless. Nothing.
Nothing yet. Let's get a jump wire right over there. See if you can find a new ground. Okay. No dash lights, no tail lights, no headlights. We got 0, 0.
Oh,
There it was. It was just contact. It was just corroded under there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we are.
Yeah.
Now we're on. Nothing?
No headlights.
Nothing in the tail.
No.
Nothing, but I got generator light. That likely means we're gonna have to go through the entire
Wiring system.
And that set of points is so burnt. I've never seen a set of points that bad. So hold on, let's see. No, you're still here, so that needs to be tightened up, but we're gonna go through the whole, coil gotta come off. First thing, Chris, if you'd like to take the dash off,
okay.
I'm gonna take the coil off because the whole terminal is back there behind the coil. And then we've also got the right side. So, not the best. Not the best. You hear about a bike being restored and the first thing you want to see is drop a battery in it, turn the key, and for things to work. This thing's been sitting in a dirt floor garage for the past 30 years and there's really no telling what kind of elements and rodents and what have you went at the...
Yeah, because all those contacts are rusty under there.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's as easy, maybe if, let's coil each of those contacts so we're gonna take them out when the time comes. Wait, let me pump the brakes here.
Yep.
I am gonna lower this a little bit. So, as rusty as that is, maybe we're just not making contact around the switch. So before I go digging into the entire wiring system, we'll just focus up at the switch right now. Oh gosh, this is chasing other guys' wiring is not my idea of a fun Tuesday. So Chris, I hate to say it, man.
Yeah.
Would you mind running up and in Andy's toolbox in one of the drawers on the right, there's the little single prong tester. Yeah, it's gonna be the only way for us to actually nail it. This is your battery post, which brings in hot. So one of these ought to be from the battery. I just can't, hold the phone a minute. It's gotta be something small for nothing to work. There we, okay. Is it rebuild the switch? Is all this tight? Panhead. This is giving me the 55 to 57 wiring. 55 to 7. Ought to have. Oh, Yeah, we got power. We got power. So why aren't the points actually firing? Oh, spotlights.
Oh.
Spotlights. Maybe the bulb's burnt. Okay. Okay. Tail light.
Oh, we do have
We're
tail
getting
light.
somewhere.
Look at that.
We're getting somewhere. We got a tail light, Chris. I didn't.
Maddie's magic touch.
I didn't touch any of it. Still have no.
You can see the light dimming when you do it, though.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, then grab a plug and stick it in there. There's some right here. There's some down there. Ready?
Yep. Real weak. There, okay, I saw it. Yep. 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 Good spark.
Let's try the other one. Wow. Okay. All right. Coming up.
Okay, go ahead.
Hallelujah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, good spark.
Oh. Yep. Yeah. Chris says we have spark. All right.
Both visual and senses.
Tiny gap though, and I'm absolutely going to adjust that points gap.
Jerry didn't share a lot about kind of how he got all this stuff. When you talked to him on the phone, did he kind of relay kind of how this collection of stuff came to be?
Well, man, he's just picked stuff for years and years. He went to the swap meets. Actually, he knows Silvio. He knows
okay.
Mike, and actually used to go to his swap meet in Red Boiling Springs.
Oh, very cool.
When we were on the phone, I was asking if he had any knucklehead parts, and it turns out that Mikey's Donut Shop bought all the knucklehead parts. So you can't win them all, but
Well, but at least that way, Mike can't complain about us scoping everything out in his backyard if he already got the kind of the primo pieces out.
That's 2 bikes in Mike's backyard. Mikey and I have been friends for forever, and it's always cool to call him up, or he calls me up, and it's like, hey man, I'm 10 miles down the road from you picking up a knucklehead, or I'm 10. This one's for you, Mike. This one's for you.
So since we got spark, you may go ahead and put this nut back on the top of the coil mount, or we need to?
You can do that. Yeah, it appears that we're there on everything. We're set on points. God, that's a total relief.
Oh yeah.
I was looking at this thinking, how can he have all this fresh new rebuild kit wiring and things not work, and just a little bit of corrosion. Look, now that switch is working really good now. Every time you come on. Taillight.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful. So what was this place like, man? I mean, just getting a feel for him on the phone, I mean, it sounds like he had a pile of stuff. Looking at the trailer.
It was. I mean, you know, open the door, and it's just piled everywhere. I mean, you're crawling over stuff to get.
Was it all bike stuff, or was there other stuff?
Yeah, all bike stuff. Well, and then boxes of other things piled on top of the box stuff. I mean, the greater portion of it was bike stuff, but there was a lot to dig through to get to it. And the funny thing is he wanted to keep all the boxes. So I had to empty out all the stuff out of his boxes into our boxes because he wanted to keep the old boxes. So he was very adamant about that. I guess.
Yeah, well, while you're tearing into the master cylinder, I'm gonna pull the carburetor.
Okay.
Yes.
We might luck out.
No way.
I mean, there's stuff in there, but it's like the whole, I can see, I think if I take it off and clean it.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. No air cleaner. Carb looks like it had fuel in it. Holy crap, he's missing a tappet block screw. How you missing a tappet block screw, Jer? As I'm looking at this, there's a few more things, like, see all the Allen screws up top there? Yeah, that should be, I think in 58, that would have been a Phillips head. Those floorboards are atrocious. I think I've got to get some new ones.
They definitely do not add,
I may find
to
some
the
different
character of the
ones.
bike.
So Chris is pulling his master cylinder off. We think we're going to get lucky, but you end up getting corroded and clogged lines. There's no telling how much of a pain in the butt chasing all this hydraulic system is going to be. I'm starting to see a lot on this bike I'm not crazy about. I understand why we don't work on these bikes. You've literally got to take a host of stuff off just to get to the work you need to do, you know? When they say these are like modern bikes, that's why I don't work on modern bikes. You got to remove a dang pile of plastic before you ever get to the mechanical stuff.
And
They're
even
half
just
electronics.
to change out the things that you have to do on a regular maintenance interval.
On a regular maintenance interval. You know, to take this carburetor off, you got to pull the horn. Whose idea was this? Mr. Davidson.
This is when Mr. Harley Davidson started getting dementia.
Yeah. Dude, Harley Davidson himself. The thing is Jerry was absolutely proud of this bike. There's no doubt about it. And out of all the bikes that we talked about on the phone, this was the one he referred to as his 58. The other bikes, it was just the 52 panhead, the 48 panhead. But when we talked about the 58, he said my 58. So you know it was a special bike to him. Being as good of a wrench as he was for as long as he was, I would imagine he really put some time and love into this bike. But when things sit, you know, time is the enemy of motorcycles like this. So the longer they sit, the worse things get. So especially in a damp, dark, dirt floor garage. So
I mean, despite the few problems we found, few being many.
if by few you mean a lot, and if by a lot you mean a ton.
And I just go back to the compression, right? It's like that much compression. Like if we can get these things straightened out, then it should. Getting that thing opened up will tell you a lot too.
Yeah, we sure will. There we are. Okay. Let's see. X9's got the right throttle plate. Oh, the main nozzle moves.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
That's a big thing.
Cork float. Float bowl looks good though. Needle and seat. Needs a little bit of lapping. Fixed jet number 19. These move. Looks pretty good. It's really looks like the outside. Now this is an M74B carburetor, which I think they used from maybe 1952 to 1965, maybe 52. So the most common of the Harley Davidson Linkert carburetors, I'd say, maybe potentially other than an M88. So the M88 they used on military bikes, 42 WLAs, they made like 80,000 of these motorcycles. So that plug's not coming out. I'm okay with that because it does seem that it was dried out. It doesn't look like fuel was left in this carburetor, but we're gonna take it apart and inspect it anyway. It feels like that throttle that was stripped, maybe? Yeah, coming apart nicely. You're looking for excessive wobble on that shaft right there. If you do, it's going to pull air in through in between the shaft and the bushing, but that's actually pretty nice. Same thing on the bottom. Not bad. There's a little wiggle, a couple thousandths of an inch maybe, but it's not a lot. This is surprising here, and you guys can see the inside of that carburetor looks pretty darn nice. Let's get the main nozzle out. Whoa.
It's definitely free.
That's free. Main nozzle, that's the right main nozzle, M74B. So the panhead era, they actually took this nozzle, which used to be real full-bodied here, and they undercut it. The main nozzle holes, they're not for air, they're not for fuel, they're for both. So there's a period at which the float level, now this thing sets right here in the float, and as that float level drains, you're exposing more of these to air rather than fuel. That's why actually as much fuel as these panhead use, they went with that fixed jet there, which always has fuel coming straight from the bottom of the bowl. Probably naturally richens the mixture. The other style nozzles maybe didn't allow for enough fuel. Getting it out?
Yep.
Good
Got it
man.
loose.
Good man.
Everything on the outside, all these came loose pretty easy. I was able to get the cotter pin out. These were pretty loose. The actual brake line all the way to the front was pretty corroded in there. Had to douse it with some Croil. The nut on here was actually already, the corners were already wallered over, bent over. So finally got a wrench on there and just back and forth just to start getting it broke loose where it'll actually start spinning out. We don't know how the brake lines are gonna be. Hopefully they'll be clean enough to use. So we don't want to break this one because we don't have a spare one laying around. We'd have to order it, which would put us further behind.
Okay, so Venturi, this is one of the crucial parts to a carburetor. The fit is crucial. You want that thing to slide in there. You want no air getting around the outside. Now what this actually does here, I'm not sure if you guys can see this or not, but what the Venturi does is kind of creates optimal conditions for that fuel to emulsify. So you've got your main nozzle, your emulsification tube. What you're doing here is as air comes through the throat of that carburetor, the Venturi sits this way and the main nozzle comes right up through here. Okay, so as you're drawing air mixture into the carburetor, into the throat of the carburetor, it actually pinches that down and creates pretty significant velocity. And then after that, you have the taper back to, and you can see this quick ramp here, and then in the back, it's got that gradual fall off to where the diameter from the smallest point, right at the main nozzle, to the back opens up pretty substantially. So what that does is it creates a low pressure environment for that fuel air mixture to be able to break up. And M74 Venturi, this is the largest one that they ever put inside of a linker carburetor. You got to remember, 74 cubic inches. That is a high flow engine compared to the knuckleheads of just a few years earlier. So, okay, guys, we're gonna drop a few of these pieces in the ultrasonic and get everything cleaned up. The emulsification tube almost looks NOS, so we're gonna leave that, drop this stuff in, get to the float after that.
So what's happening over here?
I am uncovering more problematic issues. I don't know that we'll be able to
Salvage that one?
salvage this one because the reservoir is not bad, but down in the bottom where the piston actuator is, like it almost rusted through the retainer clip, and then it's
Can you even get it out?
No, I'm gonna try beating it on a little bit more, and then I may just drop it in there with that just to see if it'll free up. Because if we could get it out, then we can just rehone it and then.
So, onto the float. Onto the float. That's sealing pretty decent. It's kind of lapped in. I think we can manage with this. So we're gonna run with that. I love those old original needles and seats too. Okay, let me get our rubber ducky float. We'll get a new float lever. What else do we got? You're checking out all that. Do you, man, see, now you gotta take the exhaust pipe off just to get to the rear.
No, you can. I think you might be able to squeeze a wrench in there. But I mean, it is like it's just. Why would you do that way? I'm curious about just taking it off here at the wheel though, and blowing.
Yeah, we can take it off there and blow it through. I mean, you know, those rubber lines, they go bad pretty quick. Next time I order those, I'm gonna order 4 or 5 of them so we've got them in advance. 10 years from now, it's going to be one difficult bike to find, a lot like its predecessor 10 years earlier. You know, finding a good 48 panhead or 47 knucklehead. I mean, guys, this is tough stuff. These are out there. Finding a great original example is not an easy thing, and kind of still remains to be seen how good of an example this bike is. But you got to start somewhere. No.
Nothing.
Nothing. It's the hose, ain't it?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll come over there. We'll see if I don't show up. Oh, God!
You come out?
Yeah, it came out. You good?
That's barely, like that was barely any pressure.
Oh, did you get it in your eye?
I don't think so. It's clear.
Yeah.
It's like you can only do so much.
And like that was barely any pressure too, which that's good.
That's very good.
Because that's the hardest one to get in.
That's the hard one to get to. This is an easy swap.
So we know very clearly, Matt most of all, that the brake line, at least back to the rubber part, is clear.
Funny guy.
So I'm gonna go ahead and take the rubber line off because we're most likely gonna have to replace it if we can't get it cleaned out.
The pipe's gonna have to come off, and the rear wheel's gonna have to come off because the pistons are gonna be stuck. See if you can undo that fitting right there, because if we can keep that fitting, we will. It's a brake hose and then a wheel cylinder rebuild kit, which we could order anyway.
I'm really impressed. Like, you know, obviously you can tell it's not original paint, but it's got a really cool look to it. You know, it's telling you got some age on it. It doesn't look like a new restoration.
Chris, kick that thing over. Let's see if the clutch works. It appears to be stuck. Oh, darn it. I just made the order, and I didn't order O-rings. Rubber O-rings also, Chris. Wait.
There you go.
No, God, what a good guy. What a good guy. 55 to 65. Got him, Bo. All right, we can do that today. The fact that that clutch isn't separating, I feel like we wait and we try and break it free.
Break it, yeah, that's what I was gonna say, just bump it. And
Yeah, and to be really honest, the way we're gonna do that here is it's in gear now. So now kick it.
Back tires spinning.
That sucker's stuck. That sucker is stuck. So that's got to come apart. Clutch has to come apart. Okay, one thing at a time. I read in a comment once that you deal really good with my ADD. and you do. And you do. All right, I'm going to finish the carb. We know all this is pretty tight. So let's go ahead. We'll do the horn.
How's it look?
Yeah, clean. Look at there. That's a fresh carb.
Wow.
It's a fresh cabby.
So this little screw here actually changes the horns. Hey!
Oh, yeah. Hello.
Come back to me.
Something came out over there.
I know, I heard that.
Oh, come on. Did I lose that spring? I left that spring in, and now it's gone. A victim of the ultrasonic cleaner.
You spray this in your mouth when you're ready for your gum to come out? Like when it gets stuck in your hair and stuff? You should be a comedian, Steve. I was.
And then you couldn't get any more jobs because you weren't any good?
No, I got bored with it, so
I got bored with it.
I retired and decided I'd do something easy, like follow you around.
Do you know what the #1 thing you need to be a successful stand-up comedian is?
What?
Legs.
Legs. Oh my gosh.
That, my friends, is a rebuilt carburetor.
Okay.
Can you tell if that had a thick gasket or not? Does that have a big fiber insulator in there? No, yes, no. That's metal, ain't it?
Yeah.
Okay, here we are. Let's go ahead and get the choke lever in. Push one of them through. And then, not quite. Hold on, back it out. Intake seals.
Oh, yeah.
We would be silly not to. Can you get to the spring, or to the screw there, Chris?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, and pop those all the way loose. Man, it's a shame those aren't really stock. They're just C-clamps, aren't they? And I may even take this manifold over to the belt sander and knock that thing off. Yeah, you may just try and pull the O-ring out if you can. Oh yeah, those were all rotted.
Oh, yeah.
Those things were
definitely
gross.
A good choice.
Those never would have made it. Okay. Our new O-rings. Peel them way up on the shoulder like this. Okay. You're holding it for me?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I felt it. Cool, thank you. It ought to hang by itself now.
Yep.
All right. A lot of the times those plumber nut manifold seals, they're kind of forever. Okay. You got a bolt in?
Yep.
Yep, hold it in. Okay. Yes.
I'm spinning if you want to.
Yeah, you go on.
That one going?
Yeah, you're
Okay.
going.
Okay.
And how's the choke feel? Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, really positive. Yeah, so many uncertainties. You know, we know this clutch has got to come apart next.
Yeah.
I kind of want to see if it runs before we go crazy pulling the clutch apart, you know? Okay, guys, so huge progress today. established compression. It's got a ton of compression. And the engine spins over really nice and clean. Everything feels slick. Had a flashlight in the bore and it looks really nice inside. Got spark, you know. The crazy thing is everything works, you know. Freaking dash lights. We've got the horn. We've got headlight. The headlight never came on. Give me a little twitch there. Oh yeah, it's coming. There it is.
Yeah.
Go for it again. Yeah, so one beam's burnt out.
One beam's burnt out.
Unless you turn it back and kind of wiggle it. And maybe it's corrosion. Not one beam's burnt out. But look at there. We got all three lights. Bada bing, bada boom. Tail light. Got the horn working. We got spark at the plugs and a rebuilt carburetor. So we've got a master cylinder on the way. Wheel cylinders for the rear brake there. A couple new brake lines and a T-junction brake light switch. So we get that brake system rebuilt. And we should be back in business. What else is there? Clutch. And we got the clutch. So waiting on a couple of parts, guys. Hang with us. We'll be back at this thing in no time. Okay, guys, so V-twin orders in. We got our brake components plus some other things. Literally a ton has happened since we caught up with you last. This actually showed up within 2 days, and the next day we had the big flood. So I know most of you guys have heard about all the aftermath of Hurricane Elaine. And stuff's crazy around here, man. We were out of power for quite some time. You know, internet's been down. We had, luckily, no damage inside of the building. All the museum staff is okay and their families are all right, but Haywood County had it really bad, and there are places even worse than we are. So yeah, thanks for bearing with us. It was supposed to be a couple days, and now we're 6 days, 7 days, a whole 7 days later, man. So we've got our brake components, so we're gonna get to work on all that. And yeah, guys, it's been crazy around here. One of those things that you just absolutely never expect. And we got 14, 15 families that rely on the museum as its sole income, and being closed is definitely taking its toll. So we need you guys' support. As always, you guys help make this place absolutely move. Without everything you do for us, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. So if you can support the museum, please do. Check out winthisbike.com and look into our raffle. We're giving the 36 Knucklehead away November 23rd. Get some merch in the store right below. Any way you guys can help, we're incredibly grateful. Also, for the month of October, we're going to be donating a portion of our online proceeds to help local relief efforts. Like I said, things are really, really tough around here, and we're not even in the worst area. So anything you guys can do to help, so grateful. We love you guys. We're gonna jump back in and get some motorcycles, or hopefully get a motorcycle running today.
Our favorite thing, hydraulic brakes.
We work on the early stuff because it's mechanical. You start adding fluid and all this extra stuff.
This gets way more complicated.
Yeah, it's just way more of a pain in the butt. So got a few consumable pieces here from the V-twin company, and then so we got brake cylinder, rear wheel cylinder. Ordered a couple extra because if I'd have done that when we worked on the Super Blad, we wouldn't have had to wait for 3 days. Chris is going to get that front cylinder, front master cylinder installed. I'm going to get the rear end up, pull the wheel, sprocket, brake backing plate, and do some rebuilding there. So, a lot of chrome on this thing too, man, I'm noticing. Just tasteful enough. Axle looks like it needs some grease too.
So just reinstalling the new master cylinder here. Lines are clear. The hard lines are here to the rear wheel. Original master cylinder was totally trashed, so putting a new one on, connecting it to the hard line, and they'll connect it back to the brake pedal here. And then once we're done on the rear, filled back up with fluid, bleed the brake lines, and everything should be good to go.
Yeah, so what happens is, as with any hydraulic component, the seals go bad. You get a little bit of corrosion and things freeze in place wherever they are. This thing is frozen right up to contact with the brake drum. So absolutely going to need new pads. Probably the best thing we can do is take a look in the swim shop and see what we got. I've got the shoes, which if we've got the shoes now, could we just re-shoe the thing? What about that?
Yep.
That's it.
That's it.
Here, same thing, Chris?
Yep.
Okay. All right, well, that's not what I wanted to do. Just hang around with a bunch of asbestos today.
We're gonna do as best as we can.
Somebody stop him. Where's my Raycons, dude?
Yeah, my only fear about these is just when we try to start riveting them just
Crack.
falling apart.
Yeah, well, we are going to hope that that is not the case. So now I gotta find brake lining rivets. Now the fun part. Well, we get to blast those now.
This is the worst one. You want to start with that one in case we...
Yep. 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 That's good.
Boxer's brake shoes. If they won't stop you, you won't be here to complain.
All right. I'll tell you what, I like this. I like this a lot. Freshly lined brake shoes. Yeah, we're all sitting good. That's all nice. Okay. Here we go. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. There it went. I see it. Axle nut tightened, chain pretty much adjusted, and we'll get that new brake line put in with the clamp. Okay. All right, here we go. We are not far, guys, away from making an attempt to fire this bike up for the first time in, say, 30 or so years. Got into it thinking, man, what did we do? Was not a good buy. But the more we've gotten closer to the bike, it seems like the machine has a lot of redeeming qualities. We've ran into issues that we didn't think we were going to run into, and so far we've been able to overcome each of them. We are going to find out whether this buy was worth it or not here real shortly. I mean, if it doesn't run, it's out. If it does, maybe we'll see how it rides. Ready to bleed, man. Ready to bleed. Tell me when you're ready and I'll push.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, I'm open.
Yep.
Closed.
Oh yeah, it's draining.
Open. Closed.
Closed.
Yep.
Yep.
Open. Oh. Yep, right there it is.
Okay, so let's top her off. Nice. Brakes are bled, man. Get that battery hooked up. Been sitting here a week. Keep our fingers crossed. Okay, 2 quarts to start. And then I will also crack the feed line.
Don't spill it.
Let's start with 6 ounces. Wow, it had oil in it. Good. Okay, love it. Bleed this line here so we're not popping it off all the way. We're just loosening it a little bit. Oh, there it is. Cool, see it? Right down at the bottom there. If I ain't mistaken, I think she runs right now.
Ready for fuel?
Do we have any gas back
Yep,
here?
we do.
Nice. Still got battery?
Yep.
Excellent. All right, this is the fun part, y'all. See how big of a mistake we made or we didn't make. Yeah, dump it in there, Chris. I'm getting excited. Dry, dry, dry. Dry. How many kicks? Put it in the comments. Chris said 6.
After
Jerk.
fuel.
After fuel.
After fuel. I think it's listen, as much trouble as this thing has given us so far.
You're right.
I think it's gonna be
right.
stubborn about it.
All right, you're completely right. We got the gas on. I'm going 1 kick because I'm just feeling froggy. Let me make sure we're 1/2 1, 1/2 2, 1/2 3, 1/2 1, 1/2 2, 1/2 3. Yep. Give it 3 1/4, 1/2 1, 1.5. So we got 1.5, 1, 1.5. All right, high speed's at 1.5, low speed's at 1. Everything look good over there?
Yeah, this one plug cable is...
Plug cable's a little loose, it'll
loose,
arc.
but,
It'll arc. Okay. Hopefully we got fuel in 2-3 kicks. It's an FLH, so there's a lot of compression. Spark advance is working just fine. Let's see how she goes, man.
Oh, you already got fuel.
Already got it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, baby. Give it 2 kicks. I'm gonna give it a third, cause why not? And then we got 1 to go. Bet. Come on now. Come on now.
Oh!
It needs more gas. It needs more gas. Ready?
Yep.
1 to go again. Pop me back there. Crash guard's in the way. You know what? This thing's gonna be easier to start on the side stand.
All right.
Let me peel it off here. Yeah, let's bring her off. Yes. Okay. All right, here we go. Couple more primes, just cuz. Ready? Ignition off. 1, 2, 3. 1 kick to go. 1 kick to go. Oh, dog. Whoo. Oh, it wants it. Come on, you old dog. It's like the clutch is slipping now. There it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, here we are.
Oh! Glad I wasn't down there.
I mean, this is...
Does it feel like it's slipping every so often?
It's not spinning as fast as it could be. Come on, you old girl. Yeah. Oh, it's there, man.
Yeah.
God, it's there. It's a front cylinder issue. Front cylinder. It ain't firing. Well, you guys can hear it. It's running. It's not running great. I don't think it's voltage. I think maybe not having a decent pair of plugs to start with. So Chris is going to grab our stock of plugs from up front. You know, when you can arc that one plug, it runs real good. The motor is definitely a quiet panhead engine. It's like, look at this. All the gunk and rust and stuff flying out of the deal there. I don't know if a little corrosion on the voltage regulator. It looks really nice and new. And we even did new intake seals on this, didn't we? Yeah. Dang, man, I was really expecting a little bit better results than that straight away. It's kind of mixed results, you know? We're gonna go ahead and pop in some new plugs. All right, here it is again. Here she blows.
You got it, man, you got it.
Ignition sounds good, really. It does. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Spark plug. That was it. All right, man. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Let's see if it goes in gear.
do you think?
She run good, man. She run real good.
So, was it a good deal?
I think it remains to be seen, dude. We're gonna hook these bags up, give it a wash. And this is not a kickstart contest, Mike. Let's try again. It's still not charging, too. Come on, it just fired right up.
Hey!
Okay. It likes the little retard. Look at him go. Look at him go. Another motorcycle running. If you guys dig what you see, make sure you check out either one of these two videos. Another one on the road. We'll see you next time.